Have you ever been so incredibly terrified that your entire body just started shaking and you couldn't stop it no matter how hard you tried? Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're doing something really cool. We're going to master some advanced English vocabulary while simultaneously diving into the cutting-edge neuroscience of fear to find out exactly why our bodies react the way they do. Seriously, I want you to think back to a really terrifying moment. Maybe it was a sudden massive crash in the dark, or, a super close call on the highway. In that split second, it literally feels like your body has completely lost its mind, right? Like it's totally out of their conscious control. But what is actually going on under the hood?
Well, we're talking about those intense physical reactions you probably remember all too well. Your hands are trembling violently. Your heart is beating so fast and so forcefully it feels like it's going to just punch right through your chest. Your breathing goes completely haywire. And suddenly, you're experiencing this intense, full-body panic before your brain has even had a chance to figure out what just happened.
See, here is the absolute core truth about all of this. Fear is never just a feeling. It's not merely emotional. Fear is profoundly biological. The exact second that fear overtakes you, your muscles, your hormones, your heart, your brain, they all start operating like a major city that's just been put on a massive emergency alert. It is a literal biological storm erupting inside you, triggering an ancient survival mechanism instantly. So, to unpack all of this, we'll start with some essential English vocabulary. Then, look at the brain's alarm system, explore the adrenaline explosion, find out why your muscles actually shake, and finally, look at how the body returns to normal balance.
Let's kick things off by setting up the crucial language tools you're going to need today. First up, a word you've probably heard a million times: adrenaline. Now, scientifically, adrenaline, which is also known as epinephrine, is this incredibly powerful hormone released during stress or fear. It is basically the body's ultimate survival chemical, and it shoots your heart rate and energy levels through the roof in an absolute fraction of a second.
Next, we have the word tremble. To tremble means to shake slightly or involuntarily. This describes that exact sensation of your hands just vibrating during a really scary moment. Notice that word involuntarily, though. That's huge. It means it happens completely without your permission. You literally cannot just tell yourself to stop trembling when this biological cascade is happening.
Our third word is survival, which is simply the act of remaining alive despite danger. It is so important to remember that these super intense, really uncomfortable physical reactions, they didn't evolve to make us panic or suffer. They evolved specifically for our survival. They exist for one reason: to keep you alive.
Then we have the nervous system. Think of this as your body's ultra-high-speed communication highway. It's the complex network transmitting signals between your brain and your entire body. When danger pops up, your nervous system reacts instantaneously, moving critical, life-saving messages way faster than you can even blink.
And our final vocabulary word is emergency, a critical, dangerous, or urgent situation that requires immediate action. When fear hits, your body completely rewires its priorities. It just shuts down non-essential stuff, like digesting your lunch, and shifts instantly into pure emergency mode.
Okay, so how does this actually start? Let's check out the brain's alarm system.
Deep inside your brain, there is this tiny almond-shaped structure called the amygdala. Think of it as a biological security guard that is constantly scanning your environment for threats. The very millisecond it senses danger, like, say, a car suddenly swerving into your lane, it fires off a distress signal to another part of the brain called the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus is the command center. It grabs that distress signal and instantly sends urgent emergency warnings cascading down your entire nervous system.
But here's where it gets absolutely fascinating. Evolution built this system to protect us from real physical threats, like ancient predators or falling rocks. But your ancient amygdala, it kind of has a hard time distinguishing between a literal life-or-death physical threat and a modern emotional stressor. So standing up to do some public speaking or taking a massive exam can trigger the exact same biological alarm as a tiger jumping out of the bushes.
Which leads us right into the next phase, the adrenaline explosion.
So the command center has sounded the alarm. What happens next? We get the famous fight-or-flight response. This is a massive chemical surge. Your nervous system tells your adrenal glands to just flood your bloodstream with adrenaline. Suddenly, your heart accelerates to pump extra oxygen to your muscles. Your breathing intensifies. Your pupils literally dilate. They get wider to let in more light so you can gather more visual data. Meanwhile, your liver starts dumping blood sugar into your system for instant fuel. Before you can even form the thought, oh, I'm in danger, your body's already prepped for battle.
So with all of that going on, we arrive at the core question. Why exactly do your muscles start shaking?
Well, think about it like this. Imagine you're sitting in a parked car. The car is in neutral, and you just slam your foot all the way down on the gas pedal. You are revving that engine to maximum RPMs, but the vehicle is completely stationary. It's not moving. That is exactly what's happening in your body. Fear has flooded your tense muscles with so much chemical energy, adrenaline and glucose, getting you ready to sprint away or fight for your life. But if you don't actually run or fight, your body has all this explosive power with nowhere to go. And that excessive, unspent energy, it manifests as rapid, involuntary muscle contractions. That is what shaking is.
Now, once the scary moment is over, how do we fix it? Let's talk about returning to normal balance.
Your nervous system basically has two main gears. The sympathetic nervous system, which we've been talking about, is your gas pedal. It triggers fight or flight. But once the threat is gone, your parasympathetic nervous system has to step in. This is the brake. It lowers your heart rate, promotes rest and digest, and brings you back to homeostasis, or balance. And what's super interesting is that animals, and actually humans too, will often shake violently right after a fearful event is completely over. It's literally just your body burning off that leftover stress energy so the parasympathetic brake can finally take hold.
All right, to really lock in this dual-track learning we're doing, I want you to do a quick exercise with me. Read this sentence out loud to practice using our new vocabulary. Ready? Adrenaline prepares the body for danger. Notice how knowing the actual biology makes the vocabulary feel so much more concrete?
Let's do just one more. Say it out loud. My hands trembled because I was scared. And we know now for sure that the word trembled doesn't mean you were weak. It just describes an involuntary muscle contraction caused by a massive surplus of survival energy.
So, I want to leave you with this final, really empowering thought. If fear is literally just a biological program designed to protect you, how will understanding this internal storm change the way you react to your next stressful moment? Next time you hear a terrifying noise, or you're about to step up to a microphone and you feel your hands start to tremble, remember what we talked about today. That shaking is not a failure. It's absolutely not a weakness. It is just a sign of a perfectly optimized, ancient survival machine doing exactly what it was built to do, getting ready to protect you. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and keep feeding that curiosity.